Jeez. Okay, I just did a long rant, like 2 hours and 30 minutes. And then I condensed all those points into like a 10-minute video using like a camera app, and it didn't record audio. So I got to do it a third time. Hopefully, it'll be even more condensed and I won't repeat points. Um, so, uh, God, I'm gonna have to edit this. We are at an important point in human history right now. Um, we're just getting into Web three, which I think Web three became an inevitability once we picked up the internet. It connected us, and we've just been moving closer and closer towards more connection through cyberspace. So that's what Web three has in is and has whatever. COVID kind of forced it. It forced everyone online, which like gamers already knew. Okay, so it forced everyone online, and then it made us see that you can actually connect. You can have real connection with people online. Gamers knew that, but it showed everyone, and it put everyone on computers and like getting better, working on computers, figuring out how to make money on computers. Like it was a huge boon to cryptocurrency, which is the future. NFTs, which I think might be a like a transitional mechanic, but it might be also the future. Um, NFTs in general. No, they'll stick around because there's way more than just picture art, JPEGs. You know, so NFTs will stick around. Those are just non-fungible tokens. Um, we also have reusable rockets coming online. Those allow us to actually do space. Um, so imagine this example is said a lot. Imagine flying, like flying somewhere and jumping out of your plane in a capsule and letting it crash and like parachuting to the ground. That's what you're doing when you get rid of, like, when you use disposable rockets. It's like, it's just so, can't do it. It's not sustainable. So reusable rockets, this is what gets us interplanetary. This is what realistically allows us to, it's like when we get to space, it's going to be like living in submarines. It's going to be miserable. The point of going is to start developing the technologies needed to make it comfortable in space. And those will be the same technologies, same exact technologies that will make life here more comfortable, especially as far as like food and water type stuff, right? Because that's one of the biggest issues facing humanity, and that's an issue facing space travel. Working on one is working on the other. It's the same problem. Um, so yeah, space race and the technology that comes from it. The war threatens to derail this. So we just got really suppressed by COVID, but we all got pushed online, like, all engaged, and had and have a chance of unity because we're all connected and we all see we're kind of all the same, going through all the same shit, just live in different places, look a little different, whatever, think differently, have different opinions, all that. We're still human. We all, are realizing that. But then the media was making us pissed at Republicans, Democrats, right? It was selling anger. Anger sells, but what they started doing with Republicans and Democrats is they raised that anger to fear. They made you fear for your way of life, like the audience's way of life. right? Like, oh, they're trying to control your kids. Like, what will they control next? Are they gonna, you know, is this gonna be so like, is this gonna be not, whatever, you know, whatever evil regime from the past? Like, they emphasize it up to the point and just skew it and lie about it to the point that it's and just deceive in general about it until it's a fear thing, not anger. And fear sells a lot more because we're creatures of survival. Ultimately, it's a, you know, gets all the way down to our fight or flight response. We stay glued to the TV, being an audience for the commercials, because we want to see what's going on. Like, we look to them to see what's going on. But because it's just our audience that pays their bills, they chase the profits. They do whatever, the media chases the profits. They do whatever it takes to maximize profits, and fear sells the most effectively. It's like fear, anger, sex is the way I see it. And now they're doing it. It was Republicans and Democrats, but now there is an international conflict that, because of the parties involved, the media is able to raise it to World War levels, and seeding fear about it. Like, all of the media, or all the headlines I've seen, is there's like, this guy says there's still like threat of an invasion, and this, like, they say they're gonna invade at this time, blah blah blah. They all say that. There's I check like a few times a day what's going on there, and it's always saying that shit. But we didn't see it on our phone. We didn't see it on social media. If there were shellings, the first shell would bring out all the phones, and all the rest of the shells would be recorded from multiple angles, just like the Beirut explosion. There would be no doubt that it happened, you know, and then stories would start to spread from that, also corroborating it, because stories would spread because people would ask what happened. And that's, you know, it gets a little bit like playing telephone, but when it's networked like that, you generally get the gist of what actually happened, and you end up narrowing down on the truth. So you just got to kind of take it for what it is and not make a super judgment on it. But the point is, I haven't seen any shells explode on social media, and that shit spreads like crazy. So if there was one shell, it brings out all the phones. It's recording all the rest, right? We would see it all over the place. I've only seen a pile of bricks and like a broken corner of a building. You'd see way more. Also, more and more, the news picks up news from social media. Social media is already our news platform. We are boots on the ground by just having phones there, essentially. It's you know, it's hard to cover it up when 10 videos of it have already gone viral. It's hard, you know. I don't think they're shellings at all. I think they're lying. They're trying to get us to accept that there will be a world war, even though there need not be, and I don't think there will be. They try to seed fear to get our audience, like, so the media, right? But also, government side, governments put us at this risk. The point of a government is organization. So organizing works and making sure all the people in the area that it has jurisdiction over, making sure that everything they need, sewage, water, gas, electricity, safety, security, education, all those things. Government should organize that happening. Shouldn't do it. It should organize it happening. It should delegate, I think, to private companies. But right now, it's egos there driving, like at the tip of the pyramid, driving the whole pyramid to go fight that whole pyramid. I think of it like a government is like a babysitter. It takes care of the people it's in charge of. So our babysitter is sending our babies to go fight their babies because their babysitter doesn't like our babysitter. Like, one babysitter doesn't like that babysitter, sends his kids to fight his kids because he doesn't like him. Like, that's what it's like, pretty much, when heads of governments send nations to war, nations of people. They exist to serve the people, not to get the people destroyed and to destroy with the people. So governments were generally set up in times that stuff didn't change so quickly. Now things change quickly, but also information spreads extremely quickly. So if we take these serious as news platforms, take our network with each other serious as a news platform, if we don't take our words seriously, we won't be able to get away from news media or the government. But if we do it right, we can govern ourselves by like voting and shit and having online forums essentially of how to organize the works and how to do laws and stuff. We don't have to do it all online, but the shit we set up was set up in a time when shit moved slow, and it was set up in a way to make sure stuff moved slow, so a tyrant couldn't get in and just change everything real quick. So it was set up in a slow time with the intent of being slow. And now our fucking culture is zooming, and technology and society, civilization is just like progressing at an exponential rate. Has been, but now it's steep. We can't have this war. We got to stop listening to the media. We got to trust each other. We got to like value our word and not essentially be honest. Don't lie. You don't have to be super open and shit. Just don't be lying about shit. Don't be spreading shit that spreading hate and stuff. I don't know. Love each other or shut up. But don't, it's okay to shut up or to be have shut up said to you, or just, I guess, to say it. It's not nice, but it's not that bad compared to what could be said, inciting violence, something like that. Now I'm ranting. Web3, COVID pushed us towards the singularity, but there was a significant jump to now we're a little more visually online, like visually connected. Web3, visually and audio, like from text to those two as well. Spaceship. So we're getting towards the singularity, and if we can learn how to make peace by consensus and find truth by consensus, we can take that with us. With that we can, if we do that, we can just focus on spreading to the stars, and we can take that to the stars. Or we can have war. So like these three leaders of the world, to Mr. Putin, Mr. Xi, in Mr. Biden. We, if you don't fucking do this, don't war with each other, we will have, like, we'll be living in space. You'll probably see us living in space, but your kids will be living comfortably in space, not in submarines, not in submarine-like conditions. You will be remembered so much more lovingly and so much more if you decide to be a champion of a space race and to lead your country to doing all these amazing things in space, making an entire space station with a rotating thing so it has like artificial gravity. Like, do that. We know we can do it. That lead your country to inspire them to do that shit, right? Same with Xi. Like, you guys are fucking coming up like crazy in the space race. Like, you guys are all, like, taking over the scene, except for SpaceX. But I'm sure you guys are working on or have reusable rockets. But you guys are killing it. I think you even do this, but inspire your people to reach for the stars. And Biden, do the same. Like, stop aiming at each other, put the guns down, and like inspire to fucking the stars, you know? Come on, we can do this. And none of you three are monsters, and despite what the fucking media says, like, they lie. You three are people with a lot of responsibility and consequences of great significance from your words and decisions and stuff. So please choose peace. Do whatever it takes, and just switch focus. Don't worry about losing pride or whatever. It's literally just stupid. It's like an animal thing, which, like, it's cool to be animals sometimes. Here we gotta be smart. Animals fight. We're genius, ultra genius, super animals. So we gotta not fight and just choose the right things to be animals about. Please. And thank you. I love you. And good luck. And the race is on. Let's go, baby.